Shalom, shalom, and welcome to the White Rose Family Channel. If you're tuning in for the first time, my name is Symmanayah. Let's get started. This message is about get off me. Get off me. My brothers, my sisters, if you are one who are drawn by the Almighty Creator, the Almighty Yahuah, to His word, Yahusha, as it is written in John 6:44, if you seek to do the desires of the Almighty One, I consider you my brother, my sister, my family. With that said, these words, get off me, they seem simple. They may not even seem like a words that you would want to just have discussion with in the midst of a set-apart family. But let me say this, my brothers and sisters. End times I hear the spiritual warfare is getting intense and will get more intense. Some it has not reached their doors as of to the point where they're able to see it. But I say to you, my brother, let me give you a simple example. Have you ever seen a countertop, whether a bathroom, a kitchen, or a bedroom, cluttered with stuff? And you had to get some things off in order to make it more organized, more user-friendly, so to speak? Have you ever put on too many clothes and the heat was getting intense where you had to take it off? You might say, well, what does that have to do with anything? We are entering into a time where we need to begin to sharpen our senses, understand the importance of pray without ceasing, and moving to a point where we have no problems making the decision of telling someone to get off me, or recognizing when we need to get things off us, because weights will slow us down. Soon, very soon, movement will come for Yashar'al. And the things we allow to weigh us down could slow us down and distract us from being where we need to be. Some people are walking around saying, well, I don't want to make waves. I don't want to hurt anybody's feelings. We are told to be as iron sharpen iron. We are told to restore our brother or sister. Now, that doesn't mean take the instruction and run with it. It means be mindful of when the Spirit of Yahuah guides us in the restoration process, guide us to demonstrate actions that represent iron sharpen iron. We are many members of one body and one spirit. There are visions going forth among us, my brothers and sisters. But let us ask the question, do those visions connect? If they connect and line up with scriptures that are made alive, then they are as pieces of the puzzle coming together to project a unified front, a unified nation, a unified body. But if there are visions that conflict and battle against one another, something is wrong. Look for the visions, my brothers and sisters, that you're able to discern that lines up and connect. Pray, discern, respond, my brothers and sisters. Get involved, support, and be prepared to receive support for the building up of a unified nation. For there are promises made by Abba Yahuah, and we will begin to see those promises unfold like never before. Let's get into this. Get off me. What comes to mind when you read the title of this message? Something should come to mind, whether something recent or whether actions that you recognize. But get off me requires making a decision to reject, repel, to change, to organize. Upon completion of this subject, have discussions with others. Let your conversations be focused on agreements and confirmations. Come, let us unpack the phrase, get off me. Related to positioning, as it relates to positioning, my brothers and sisters, consider Deuteronomy chapter 28, verse 13. And I'm reading from eSword, scripture version. Take a look at it. For it reads, and Yahuah shall make you the head and not the tail. And you shall be only on top and not beneath. If you obey the commands of Yahuah, your Elohim, which I command you today to guard and do so. Not the tail, my brothers and sisters. You see, we must realize to get in position, it will require sometimes telling someone or people, get off me, that I may rise up when directed by Abba Yahuah. And it continued, and to continue on, come with me to chapter 30. Same book, different chapter. Chapter 30 of Deuteronomy, verse 1 and 2. It reads, and it shall be, when all these words come upon you, the blessings and the curse which I have set before you, you shall bring them back to your heart among all the nations where Yahuah, your Elohim, drive you, and shall turn back to Yahuah, your Elohim, and obey his voice according to all that I command you today, with all your heart, with all your being, and your children. To turn back sometimes requires removing the weights, telling someone or people, get off me, that I may turn back, that I may move in the direction that Abba Yahuah would have me to go. Simple words, my brothers and sisters, with strong meanings. And it continues on in the 3rd verse. I'm still in the 30th chapter of Deuteronomy. Then Yahuah, your Elohim, shall turn back your captivity and shall come and shall have compassion on you. And he shall turn back and gather you from all the people where Yahuah, your Elohim, has scattered you. This happens and has happened on more than one occasion where it requires Yashar'al turning back, getting back on that right path. You see, my brothers and sisters, there are some of us, sometimes we stumble and fall and veer off the right path. Because why? Weights, distractions. Something has come upon us, have gotten on us, whether we see it physically, whether it's through distractions of false and erroneous teachings and directions, or whether spiritually. We must gird up with the strength to say, get off me, in the name of Yahusha, get off me, that I may do what is expected, that I may move in the direction the Almighty Father will have me go. Did you know there are weights that attempt to hold us back? We will begin to grow in discerning obstacles and tell them to get off me. You may be that part of Yashar'al that's holding back a group or another part of the body. So it may require you saying, get off me. You removing the weights of distractions, the weights of complacency, or the weight of slothfulness. All too often we read, but fail to realize what is needed to move forward. When we witness instructions that include the word turn, this will sometimes require moving away or pushing away. When weights are on us, we will discover the need to use the words, get off me, or at the very least, similar words to remove the distraction, to remove the obstacle. My brothers and sisters, come with me to Psalms 56:9. Psalms 56:9 says, my enemies turn back in the day I call. This I know because Elohim is for me. Turn back. When there's a repositioning, as a result of the actions, whether the exact words get off me or not. There's a separation, there's a parting, there's a turning from one direction. To turn back, meaning you're turning from somewhere else. And what could have possibly got us off track are the weights of things that need to get off us. Proverbs 22:10 says, cast out the scoffer, and strife goes out, and contention and shame cease. To cast out is to get it off. Get it off me. Get it off the person in the mirror. And that contributes to getting it off Yashar'al, believe it or not. That was Proverbs 22:10. Take a look at Lamentations, chapter 3, verse 40. It says, let us search and examine our ways and turn back to Yahuah. Get it off you, my brothers and sisters. Get off the weight, the detour sign, the misunderstanding, the miscalculated instructions. Although we may not use the exact words, get off me, there are similar phrases used for removing obstacles, my brothers and sisters. Sometimes we get into discussion about the exact words and not the function of the words. When we look at the function, what do those words bring about? What actions are stirred? Then we can see the connections. We can see that removing obstacles, turning back, casting away, casting out, all could be related to actions that are brought about when we say, get off me. Consider Ezekiel 18:31, my brothers and sisters. Ezekiel chapter 18, verse 31 says, cast away from you all the transgressions by which you have transgressed, and make for yourselves a new heart and a new spirit. For why should you die, O house of Yashar'al? Clear the clutter. Get it off you, my brothers and sisters. Clear the clutter and make room for what is new, what is directed to make you stronger, to make us stronger. Ezekiel 18:32 goes to say, for I have no pleasure in the death of one who dies, declares the Master Yahuah. So turn back and live. Could it be that weight could lead to death if we don't get it off of us? If we don't remove it? To turn back is to remove ourselves from current conditions. Cast away or turn back will prove to be necessary as we find ourselves facing corrections. Great corrections are coming, Yashar'al. There's a lot of teachings. All the different divisions is a result of different ones using their own competence, the way they were educated, opposed to understanding the importance of letting the Spirit make alive the letter so that we can understand and be of one accord. Many individuals are concerned about such words like get off me, not even thinking about it, but the actions, the function. Do not be afraid to say what is needed in order to press forward into living orders by Abba Yahuah. We will learn the words necessary for release and liberation from strongholds. Not only learn the words, but act. Discover the strength, the power that the Almighty Father gives us to get things off us. Come take a look at Matthew chapter 4, verse 8 and 9. Matthew chapter 4, verse 8 and 9. It say again, and the devil took him up on a very high mountain and showed him all the reigns of the world and their esteem, and said to him, all these I shall give you if you fall down and worship me. This is a time when the devil was trying to tempt Yahusha. Let's continue on to the 10th verse. Then Yahusha said to him, go, Satan, for it has been written, you shall worship Yahuah, your Elohim, and him alone you shall serve. Then the devil left him, and see, messengers came and attended him. This example shows how Yahusha demonstrated for us what can be said to Satan. In other words, get off me. Get away. End times will bring moments when we will demonstrate the courage to say, get off me. And not worry about one's feelings, but know what it takes. Because by getting something off me, off you, there's better ahead. There's more improvements ahead. Yashar'al, examine these words with me, my brother, my sister. James 4:7 and 8. It says, so then subject yourselves to Elohim. Resist the devil, and he shall flee from you. Draw near to Elohim, and he shall draw near to you. Cleanse hands, sinners, and cleanse the hearts of you double-minded. Something has to go. Something has to be removed. It goes on to say in the 9th and 10th verse, still in the 4th chapter of James, lament and mourn and weep. Let your laughter be turned to mourning and your joy to dejection. Humble yourselves in the sight of the Master, and he shall lift you up. If something's holding you down, if there's a weight holding you down and you're trying to rise up, in order for him to lift you up, something has to get off you. It may even require verbally saying, get off me, that I may rise up and be strong. You might think this is such a simple matter, or I don't need to keep saying this. But the time will come when these words, this message will echo in your spirit, encouraging you, strengthening you, confirming that you have the power to remove things that has come upon you, upon a brother or sister. If we begin to understand the power of precepts, we can discover many words that connect to the phrase, get off me. You see, precept upon precept, it's not just one scripture reading similar to another that's positioned somewhere else in the scriptures. Precept is connecting, being able to connect. Precept upon precept is when the scriptures connect, when they confirm, when they reaffirm the ways of Abba Yahuah. Precept upon precept are words that we say in order to come to unity. We must recognize when one word or a group of words is said, it could be said another way, but are they working towards the same oneness in Yahusha? Get off me. Take this off. Remove, come away, cast away, turn away. All those are different words, but get to the seed of the function. And it's a separation of one thing over another. Come with me, my brothers and sisters. Take a look at 1 Peter 5:8-9. We'll start there. It said, be sober, watch, because your adversary, the devil, walks about like a roaring lion, seeking someone to devour. Resist him, firm in the belief, knowing that the same hardships are experienced by your brothers in the world. And he continues, my brothers and sisters. And the Elohim of all favor, who called you to his everlasting esteem by Messiah Yahusha, after you have suffered a while, himself perfect, establish, strengthen, and settle you. This requires work. It requires assessing and judging, recognizing where there is a weight, an obstacle that needs to be removed, or whether there is something to embrace to make us stronger. Be encouraged, my brothers and sisters. Words such as turn, cast away, rebuke, resist, cleanse, and others can be connected to the phrase, get off me. Each of these words require actions for removal of something wicked when ordered by the Almighty Father. As we learn, as we grow in set apartness, it is time to learn how to receive what is needed to reach our intended destination. If we ignore the need to embrace the words, get off me, for any reason, we become at risk of being weighted down. Something slowing us down, something making us hesitate. Do you know that unbelief can be a weight, we must get unbelief off of us and seek to discern and believe what is being said, what is being directed, to press on, to press forward in this journey. Yashar'al, oh Yashar'al, allow me to pivot just a little bit to something else that can also be connected to this topic. We are told in the scriptures to examine all things. So let us take a look at Philippians chapter 1, verse 8 and 9. Philippians chapter 1, verse 8 and 9. It says, "For Elohim is my witness. I long for you all with the affections of Yahusha Messiah. And this I pray, that your love might extend more and more in knowledge and all discernment." The discernment is speaking of is recognizing what is revealed by the Spirit of Yahusha. Man has a definition of discernment, and then there are some who don't really know what discernment means, but they use it because it sounds right. So when someone starts using discernment, ask them, what does that mean to you? Are you aware that it is the Spirit of Yahuah that teaches, that comforts us, that reminds us? Take them to John 14:26. When it talks about the Father sending his Spirit in Yahusha's name to teach us, to remind us, our comforter, our guide. And to receive teachings sometimes require removing weights of unbelief, weights of erroneous teachings, practices, and behaviors. He goes on to say, "For you to examine the matters that differ in order to be sincere, not stumbling into the day of Messiah, being filled with the fruit of righteousness through Yahusha Messiah, to the esteem and praise of Elohim." And let me back up. I'm going to read it straight through. Philippians 8 and 9, "For Elohim is my witness, how I long for you with the affection of Yahusha Messiah," with his affection. "And this I pray, that your love might extend more and more in knowledge and all discernment, for you to examine the matters that differ in order to be sincere and not stumbling until the day of Messiah, being filled with the fruit of righteousness through Yahusha Messiah, to the esteem and praise of the Almighty One." You see, my brothers and sisters, though sometimes there's an obstacle in front of us, or to our left, or to our right, though there are obstacles, when they weigh us down, when they are a weight to us, let us have the power and strength and understand the need to have the wisdom of how to get it off, how to remove that weight, that stronghold, be liberated and set apartness. Yashar'al, my brothers and sisters, when we find things that are different and not consistent with the set apart life, we must pray to discern and come away from such matters, as guided by the word of the Almighty Father, sent in the name of Yahusha. If someone is pressing us when we have already decided it's best to come away, the need to say, "Get off me," the need of removal becomes necessary. Yashar'al, though the message is redundant, as we walk each day, as we move forward, let us understand time is precious. Let us look around and ask ourselves, is there something slowing us down? Is there something that we need to say, "Get off me"? Is there something we need to remove? Let us sharpen our senses, my brothers and sisters. Make the decision. Additionally, I want to present the following. Colossians 4:5. Colossians 4:5, it is written, "Walk in wisdom toward those who are outside, redeeming the time. Time is of the essence. Be ye liberated, my brothers and sisters. Become free of strongholds and weights. Time will prove to demand we come away from unfruitful disputes and debates." There's more as I gradually come to an end, my brothers and sisters. Drilling down the need to know when to say, "Get off me," when to remove things, in order to transform towards a better walk and set apartness. We will be renewed. This requires getting things off us, possibly telling someone to get off me. Consider the connection to the following, my brothers and sisters. Come with me. 2 Corinthians chapter 4, verse 16. 2 Corinthians 4:16 says this, or should I say, it is written, therefore we do not lose heart, but even if our outward man is perishing, the inward man is being renewed day by day. To be renewed, that which is perishing is getting off us. Getting off us. You say, well, you don't have to keep beating it in my head. I heard enough. That's your choice. Sometimes in the variety in the way things are said, may just let you, may just let me, may just let Yashar'al know the importance of removing strongholds is a daily and moment by moment thing. It said being renewed. Verse 17 and 18 says, for this slight momentary pressure is working for us a far more exceeding and everlasting weight of esteem. We are not looking on what is seen, but what is not seen. For what is seen passes away, but what is not seen is everlasting. Our belief, our walk in set apartness, the actions we demonstrate before one another, takes us away from the weights and the strongholds when we're walking in obedience. Yashar'al, my brothers and sisters, I pray that we can begin to discern the wisdom and demonstrate the courage to say, get off me. Do you know sometimes a group will come around you, and sometimes there are people that want you to move with the masses, go with the majority. But what happens when the majority is wrong? If someone fails to say, get off me, if someone fails to step away from the stronghold of erroneous teachings, practices, and behaviors, we can find ourselves being in a world of hurt. We can find ourselves facing regret, my brothers and sisters, experiencing pain that we may not be able to move away from right away. Let us begin to recognize how the life in the scriptures places us in a better position to understand that sometimes to reach improvement requires the use of hard words. Whether you look at hard words as get off me, get it out of my face, move away from me, the need to know when to repel, to reject, versus when to embrace and hold on to. It's a moment by moment action, my brothers and sisters. Yashar'al, I'm almost done. Another thing to consider is how we spend too much time trying to expose someone who is wicked. In other words, if a brother or sister has stumbled and they won't repent, they won't sit rebuke, know that the scriptures tell us to come away from them. Know that there is a time when we must move away. And even if we warn other brothers and sisters about a person or a thing, there's a time to get off that subject and press forward. If we're spending more time on something that we have already decided is wicked and evil, and we just keep talking about it, keep talking about it, sometimes the Almighty Father wants us to leave that alone. Get off of it. Get off that person. Get off that subject. Press on. You see, by purging, by rejecting, or coming away, there's a separation that is sometimes needed because our focus needs to be on other things. But if we continue to be among the sinful, the rebellious, the wicked, then we become weighted down with the flaws they demonstrate. In other words, warn brothers and sisters, but know when to press forward and get off wasting time continuously talking about their wickedness. To you, Yashar'al, my brother, my sister, the bottom line, there's a time to continue and a time we must stop, release and press forward. Get off me can be applied in many ways. Let us discern what is needed. I believe, O Yashar'al, the very remembrance of the words get off me in its purpose could be as a tool that must be used when we find ourselves up against things that are wicked and weighing us down. Rise up, set apart family. Even in the simplest of phrases, we can find wisdom for growing stronger. It is my position that this group of words have importance. Get off me is an important group of words. Let us be mindful of connecting words that fuel the need for growth. There are times that the person in the mirror must speak up. Let us choose wisely, lest we be overtaken with wicked things that weigh us down. Are we weighed down and don't know it? Enough said on the phrase, get off me. I hope that this was a nugget of encouragement, a nugget of wisdom, a nugget that says you can do it. We can do it. We can say it. Say it with belief and recognize the power and strength to make things right when it is necessary. If you listen from beginning to end, thank you. And stay tuned. There's more to come. A nugget here, a nugget there. A little water here, a drip there. May just fill the glass. May contribute to the glass flowing over. In other words, my brothers and sisters, when we receive things from the Almighty Father, let us begin to ask ourselves, how does it apply to me? How does it apply to others? And take this matter, this walk seriously. On that note, my name is Symmanayah. I say to you, pray, discover, respond what the Almighty Father is doing, and ask yourselves, what can I do? What am I doing? And let us be mindful that all that is ordered by our Yahuah will come to be. On that note, be encouraged, my brothers and sisters. Be encouraged. I leave you with the words, shalom. Could be said another way, peace to you, my brother, my sister, my family.